Hey, everybody. This is Mariana, and welcome to the boiling point. Now, you know that I couldn't avoid but to do that, right? So, we are going to speak about ice today. So, I am stepping in for JD, who is off. He's taking some time off to rest and relax because the man doesn't know how to rest. So I'm going to be doing some podcast, okay, in his place. So welcome to the boiling point. So, who's been paying attention to the news lately? I know I have. Have you? Okay, so if you've been paying attention to the news, um, especially the news surrounding ICE and what's happening in Minneapolis, you might be a little tongue in cheek like me. Okay. So, ICE, under the orders of our current president, President Trump, have been assigned to locate a lot of these illegal immigrants that has come into this country, okay, and who have committed crimes or have a record of crime associated with gangs, terrorists, and things of that nature. We have seen throughout the years many of our young ladies being attacked by illegal immigrants, some of them killed, okay. We have seen people brutalized. We have seen gangs that have come from overseas, okay. I think it was in Colorado that they were taking over buildings, okay, and practically knocking down the doors of their tenants, demanding their rent money, stealing their food. So there has been a lot of things happening lately, in the last couple of years due to these illegal immigrants, and I'm going to call them what they are, illegal aliens coming into our country. Now, for those who have asked me, what does ICE really mean? Well, ICE means Immigration and Customs Enforcement. So these people are the federal agents assigned with enforcing the immigration laws, okay, from deportation and border security. So today, we're not going to talk about the politics of immigration. Eventually, we will, and hopefully I can get some people on the podcast to speak about the politics of immigration so we can understand it a little bit more. But it is about, typical Mariana style, the boneheads, okay, that are making moves to try to stop and cross the paths of these ICE agents. So, interfering with ICE and their work isn't just risky, it's downright, and I'm going to say it, stupid. And let's break some things down. First off, when you try to play hero, and interfere with ICE arrest, there are going to be consequences. There are going to be consequences. So picture this. You're with your family at the beach, at the park, at the street, and ICE shows up to detain somebody. And you want to play superhero or super zero, and you want to go charging, to save this individual and confront ICE, okay, and obstruct ICE and try to stop them from completing their work. Well, that's a bad idea, guys. You're causing a scene, okay, and it's not going to go well for you. Under the federal law, obstructing, and this is a federal law, obstructing an ICE officer can slap you with charges like obstruction of justice. That's a good one. We're talking fines, jail time, we're talking felonies, and this could even escalate into something worse. So it's not just about the person being detained. Anyone jumping in can and will face consequences and prosecution. And get this, encouraging others to interfere, that's reckless. Totally reckless. And it can put in danger, okay, turning a routine enforcement into chaos. So this week, I think it was Thursday. I think it was this Thursday. We had some bonehead kids protesting at the state capitol, protesting ICE. Okay, and I saw a little bit of the video, and we have to unite, and we have to stop this, and this is not right, and change interchange numbers, because if we hear ICE, we're gonna call each other and go protest. Okay, now what concerns me is that these are students. Okay, and apparently they're worse, they're bigger boneheads than their parents, let's just say it. Okay, and I stopped to think and ask myself, how many teachers encourage this, and if there were teachers present. And the reason I say and ask if there were any teachers present is because I was seeing the video, right? And there were adults there, and there were some adults that when they realized that the cameras was on them, they took their little signs and they did this, Jamie. Okay, they covered their face. So that helps me, or leads me to believe that these people were teachers. And, this is why we got to get rid of the Department of Education, because education is supposed to be about education, not indoctrinating these kids and making them activists. It's like, West Shore. Well, I'm not saying West Shore was involved in that, but I am saying that our superintendent is an activist. He's more worried about his activism than he is of getting the mess in the West Shore School District cleaned up and making sure that your child's educated. But that's for a different podcast. Okay? So, what do you do if you encounter ICE? Listen, if you encounter ICE, let ICE do their flipping job. Let them do their flipping job. It's really that simple. Okay. Because if you try to, get involved and you try to be a bonehead, you're going to get arrested. Okay. You're going to get beat up because they will push you out of the way. Okay. And they are, going to defend themselves regardless of what anybody says. They're not breaking any laws. They're doing their flipping job. So that sounds basic, right? Like, mind your business and let them do their work. But people are ignoring common sense, and it winds up biting them in the butt. And then you hear them screaming and crying and all this stuff. So recently, it was last week, we saw I want you to understand that this was a paid protester in Minneapolis by the name of Renee Good, tried to interfere. Her and her, people were saying her wife, it was not her wife. They were never married. Her and her partner, okay, paid to interfere with ICE. So the story goes they were going to move to Canada. They got an offer, okay, to work exposing where ICE was, okay, following ICE. And instead of going to Canada, they moved to Minneapolis, okay, because they were getting paid. So this lady decides that her and her girly friend here, that they're going to interfere with ICE in doing their job. And I read and seeing a lot of footage and read a lot of information on this, that they were interfering with ICE early on that day. I guess ICE, the car broke down, something to that effect. And as they were trying, to get it to work, these ladies were heckling them, and it just got out of hand. And this was like an all day thing. Anyway, I saw the video, okay, because CNN, of course, typical CNN, they're showing one video in which you're seeing the side of it. Oh, well, she turned the wheel this way. Okay, we all heard it, right? Okay, well, I was able to see the video, and I'm going to try to download the clip. I should have had it for you tonight, but I apologize. Life. Anyway, I saw the video from the aerial, okay? They had a camera on one of the street lamps, and it showed it clearly that the agent was in front of the car, okay? And her bozo girly friend here is telling her, drive, baby, drive, baby. And baby drove. And baby almost drove through the ICE. That was the intention, at least, to drive through the ICE agent. He ended up getting hurt. He ended up being hospitalized. But unfortunately, it cost her life for being stupid. If they tell you to get out of your car, you comply and you get out of the flipping car, whether you're protesting or not, whether they're paying you a paycheck. Because you know what? If you have gotten out of that car, you have still had your paycheck, but you will still be here. But no, this is what they mean by play stupid games and get stupid prizes. I'm not happy. I'm not one of these people that I'm celebrating the death of a person. No, I'm not. Because it's horrible. It's horrendous. Okay. I mean, for both sides. Okay. For both sides. But I have to say what a lot of people will not say. Okay. She caused the situation. And unfortunately, now she's not here to tell the rest of the story. And we see, okay, in social media, in the news, that they're putting this angelic picture of her. Mother of the year. Oh, she had a 6-year. Oh my God, I'm clutching my pearls. She had a 6-year. Well, she didn't consider that she had a 6-year, did she? She didn't consider that she had a 6-year. She decided to be stupid. And the truth of the matter is, okay, after reading certain documents, Mother of the Year here actually had 3 children. 2 of them was removed from her home from Child Protective Services due to child abuse. So she only had one left. And of course, Mother of the Year did not think about her child. Listen, we mothers, before we do anything and react anyway, we always think, I mean, if you're in your right mind, we always think of the ramifications that our actions may have on our family and our children. So that alone should have stopped her from being dumb, okay, and doing what she did. And like I said, the loss of a life is nothing to celebrate, but neither is the attempted, homicide of a person trying to do his job. Okay, so that's wrong. That's wrong too. But we, unfortunately, in the society that we're living in, we're seeing people celebrating the evil, okay, and villainizing the actual victim, the ICE agent. So, we have to pray for both families. So basically, guys, we're seeing that. And then this, I think it was this week, we also had in Minneapolis, they were going to arrest a Venezuelan who had a record of rape and other crimes. And the people in Minneapolis came out with shovels and broomsticks to attack the ICE agent to try to help this man escape. Okay, this is the clown show, the clown circus world that we're living in. And unfortunately, the agent had to defend himself. Okay, he had to, shoot. He shot the guy in the leg. Yeah, the guy's arrested in the hospital. Thank God the ICE agent is okay. Okay, but have we lost our ever loving mind? Has the cheese fallen off the cracker? I mean, really, people. Okay, so stupid is as stupid does. So now, when you interfere with ICE, okay, if you are a illegal immigrant, now you're facing not only deportation but criminal charges. Okay, and depending the type of escalation, lawsuits or even worse. And if you're an American citizen who's just an idiot, okay, you're facing charges, you're facing jail, the loss of your children, and various things because you want that money so badly if you're being paid, or you might just be that nonsensical, okay, living in the freaking twilight zone and endangering your life. And you have to ask yourself at the end of the day, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? And it's not just about the immediate drama of it all, okay? Going against ICE will have ripple effects in the community, okay? Because look at where they're having these protests in Minneapolis. Look at the videos. It's in a residential neighborhood. So it's affecting families. It's affecting their homes. It's affecting their property. Okay. It's putting them, in danger, them and their kids. So going against ICE is going to ripple through the community and it's going to affect businesses. And resisting in mass in great numbers, it may feel empowering because they love that word empowering. Okay. It may feel empowering, but it will lead to arrests, of families being separated, jail time, penalties, and maybe even death. So people think, as a nation, we are in this mess because of Biden's policies. Okay, his policies of opening border and total disregard of the law and the Constitution. So now we have President Trump trying to clean up this mess, and the libtards are howling. They're having cows, okay, and political leaders encouraging this behavior. But let's be clear here, Okay. These political leaders that are trying to stop ICE and talking about Trump and all this big talk, okay, um, are they really concerned about the immigrants being arrested? I would say no, they're not. Okay. It's a smokescreen to hide what's really going on, the things that they're really doing: breaking the law, fraud, election interference, you name it. It's happening, and they're using this as a smokescreen. Because think about it: before all this took place, what was happening in Minnesota that you're not hearing them talk about too much? Was it not the Somalian fraud? How they stole millions of dollars from the taxpayers, okay, opening these fake daycares and these fake businesses. And ICE was out there also to arrest some of these Somalians. So now they are taking the attention away from that into, we got to stop ICE. We got to stop ICE. Okay. Okay. So what is happening in Minnesota and in other states is shameless. And honestly, I am hoping that the president will declare and institute the Insurrection Act, because in essence, what is happening is an insurrection against our government. That is an insurrection. And we have political leaders, okay, also encouraging this behavior. And I hope and pray that any and all lawmakers supporting this behavior are arrested and made an example of, because that is what needs to happen. So, is it smart to play with ICE? Listen, if ICE stops you, comply. Resisting is only the fast track to escalation, charges, fines, imprisonment. Okay? And at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, you really have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it you losing your freedom, your family, your job, and potentially your life, because you want that big old check in order to protest against ICE? Or you're clueless, brainless, do not have two peas for a brain. You are so indoctrinated you can't see the light of day. You don't know which way's up and which way's down. You're living in the twilight zone, and somebody needs to help you because you need to get a clue. And while you're getting a clue, you need to go see a therapist. Is it worth you losing everything? My best advice when it comes to this is that when you see ICE, mind your business, keep walking, go home, and let these people do their job. So this is Mariana. Don't be stupid. Be safe. Make sure your family is safe. Mariana from the Boiling Point, signing off. And again, leave ICE alone. Let them do their job. Let them finish cleaning up the trash in the streets of the United States of America. God bless.